20 tips to boost self-awareness. Tip number 1. Meditate each day. Spend 10 to 15 minutes meditating in silence each day. Choose to do it in the morning or at night to help be more aware of your own body and thoughts. Tip number 2. Know your triggers. The next time you get upset, stop and figure out what has made you so mad. After doing this a few times, you may notice some trends, and these are your triggers. Tip number 3. Learn a new skill. Trying something new will help you learn more about your likes and dislikes. Tip number 4. Know what bothers you about other people. There are people who will bother us all. Pay attention to what is causing you the most issues and see if there are some commonalities between them. Tip number 5. Read a book. High-quality fiction can help your mind explore and gives you an opening to new ideas and thoughts along the way. Tip number 6. Make a timeline of your life. This can give you an intimate look at your own life so you can explore what works in some of the different experiences you have had in life. Tip number 7. Ask for feedback. Ask someone you trust to provide you feedback on what works, what are your strengths, and what you can improve. Tip number 8. Do some travel. Make a plan to go somewhere that is nearby. And then enjoy a trip, exploring things that you enjoy and love. Tip number 9. Find the cognitive distortions. Are all the thoughts that you have accurate? Most of us have made some distortions in your mind, and learning what these are and how to avoid them is important. Tip number 10. Clarify your values. Sit down and list out what you consider values. This may need to update sometimes to make sure they have not changed. Tip number 11. Start with the good. List down all your strengths and things that you are good at. Tip number 12. Don't forget the bad. No one wants to focus on their weaknesses, but it is hard to make improvements if you do not know your weaknesses. Think through some of these too. Tip number 13. Be your own cheerleader. You can't rely on others to cheer you up and give you encouragement. When you feel defeated, cheer yourself along. Tip number 14. Know your emotional triggers. What makes you upset or makes you lose control? When you recognize these, you will be able to avoid the problems. Tip number 15. Take a test. A simple test can let you know what your emotional intelligence is so you can make improvements. Tip number 16. Keep your mind open. When you close down your mind, your emotions start to take open. Listen to all opinions and be open to other points of view. Tip number 17. Try something new. The more new experiences you have, the better you can handle different opinions you can handle without a big mess with the emotions. Tip number 18. Motivate yourself. Be your own motivation. Pick some goals to meet and work towards them. Tip number 19. Set boundaries. Setting boundaries helps you to avoid being overwhelmed and emotional. Learn how to be assertive in your daily life. Tip number 20. Develop good decision-making skills. When you make good decisions, you will avoid the emotions. Find a plan that helps you make decisions, even when things are difficult.